Yeah, what did I say about me and technology? I thought I got the hang of all this, but apparently not. Right, so let's pop that in there. What other paintbrushes have I got in there? Right, I'm just going to use an old water brush just to try and get in the finer details. I do apologise for that. I mean, there's nothing really I can do. Right, there's a bit too much on there, so let's wipe it off. Let's see if I can get in these really tiny edges. It's quite dark, I don't want it that dark. I'll try and remove some of the colour. Just wiping the brush off as I go. This is just an old Pentel water brush that I'm using now. It's got quite a fine tip on it, so I can get into the tiny corners. There we go. Right, let's work on this side now. Move you over. Tiny bit more paint. Do this bigger area. I said I wanted something easy to do this morning. I ended up choosing to do acrylic wash, which is fine. But then I choose a picture that's got all these tiny little bits everywhere. That's probably going to take me longer than I wanted. And this bit as well. I was thinking purple for the actual, like the tentacles and stuff. But now that I've got this wash down, I'm not sure whether it's gonna go. I'll have a look at my colour wheel. Is this blue? Violet blue. So maybe a yellowy orange, maybe. Just try and get it to contrast well. Right, so that's the background. It does remind me of watercolour paint when it's really watered down. This, it really does. I'm just going to darken this bit up here. I mean, I suppose if I added a bit of watercolour to this, it'd be gouache then, wouldn't it? And that's what gouache is. Right, load up the brush again. Just try and blend this out here because it's looking a little bit patchy. But as you can see, the paper's taking it really, really well. It's not watercolour paper, and it does take it really well. So the brand that I'm using, Rona, an artist acrylic. They're just little cheapy ones that I got. I think there was only £1 a tube. Them ones. Because I can't use the Arteza ones because they're like a gloss finish. They're quite shiny. And there is no way that you can go over with pencil with shiny acrylic, unfortunately. I'm just going to go over and darken some of these areas. Right, there's a bit here. It's a lot easier to work with than actual acrylic this. It's easier to move the colour around. Dipping the paint into the paint and then putting it here and then adding a little bit more water as I go. I know that I've got that little bit and that little bit there, but with the brush being so loaded up, I'll go for a more bigger area. So I'll move this down now actually. Yeah, so I think I'm going to give it up as a bad job, that laptop, and just carry on streaming through my phone, and hopefully that's alright with you guys. The reason that I did it was to try and make the quality a little bit better for you and to make my life a little bit easier when not having to use my phone, but never mind. Right, so that is her hair. So what I might do, I'll carry on doing what I'm doing, then when it comes to the hair, I'm barely going to have any colour on the brush. And I want to do a really light wash, because I want to make it look like a hair's actually on the floor. You'll see what I mean in a minute. Right, so let's dip in. Rinse that off a little bit. It's barely anything, but it is there. Yeah, you can see it. Just so it's not a stark blue to whatever colour I do her hair. Bring it down here. I'll have to probably do the same thing again here. Just bring it up ever so slightly. A little bit more paint on there. Try and be a bit more careful around his skin. See, them bits there actually, they're only strands of hair, so you would see the colour behind it. So I am actually just going to do this. My radiators are making noise. Same thing again, but there is areas there that is you can see through. There's a little bit here. Just looking at a little bit patchy there, so let's just go over that bit as well. Just remembering that it is just a wash, and I'm not too worried about this final outcome because I'm going to be going over it with other stuff anyway. Just to have a base coat there. I need to start working in my hand and limbs ones as well. I've got that new book and I think I've only done one page out of it. It's naughty. And I've not really seen that many other people using that new book. I don't know if it's too popular, I don't know. Strange that I've not seen anything on it. I just can't imagine myself using paints and nail colours and stuff on them images because they're so busy, the images. There's just sort of something anywhere there isn't any gaps like this one that I could go in and paint areas. And as anybody knows who's watched me, I do get bored with just pencils. I have to have something else to play with as well. More paints. Oh gosh. Right, I missed them areas there, didn't I? So let's go in and do them. I decided just to cut all my nails down super short now. And I've just been putting like a protective nail head and a gel on top. Just to get them strong again after wearing acrylics for like 3 months. Right, that's the tentacle. A little bit needs to be there. And this little bit. Like that. We're getting there. Look at how much paint I'm going to end up wasting. It's a good job the ginormous tubes. I'm like that with pasta. I can never cook the right amount of pasta. Feed the 5,000 when I do pasta. Let's get this bit done. What I might actually do is go in and darken certain areas up with this to try and use a bit more of it. I'm just adding a bit more water to the paint there. I've got a funny feeling though, and it's nothing to do with this paint. Just looking at the very edge of this book, and I can see that it's going to end up coming apart. I think I've seen other people mention that problem with this book. It would be fine if they were single-sided, but there being double page spreads in them. It's a bit rubbish really that it's like that. So add more paint to that. I really like this colour though. It's not something that I would have usually chosen. Just try and go out of my comfort zone a little bit. Oh, I got a new palette as well, for the Neo colours. I think I'll show it if I do end up using the Neo colours, because it is literally a piece of white plastic, but when you use it with the crayons, it's really, really good. I can see a very slight buckle in here starting, very, very slightly. So I'm not going to mess around with that area for much longer. I'm going to have to let that dry. Always let it dry before you go in with another layer, otherwise the paper will start to break down. I think it's called pilling. You know where it looks like the paper's, there's little bits falling off. I learnt that off DD, the name of it anyway. Yeah, so that's the palette that I'm talking about. It just looks like a plastic sheet. So it's smooth on one side, so you can use that for watercolours. I wouldn't use acrylic on this because I'd be too scared of destroying it. But this side has got like, it's like a rough texture. So when you're using the crayons, this sticks to here, and then you can put your water on to mix your colours or whatever. But yeah, it's pretty good. So I'm going to darken some of these areas up now. Take a drink. Chat is quite quiet this morning. Have I picked the wrong time to come on? I'm not going to add as much water this time actually. Me wanting to darken it up. Put a little bit there, and then I'll blend it out once I've got the rest down, the rest of the colour down. I don't actually have to rush off this morning to run to nursery. My mother-in-law's picking my daughter up for me. So I just got to get her dinner ready. She gets home at about 12:20. There's some glitter on this page. It must have been either from the paintbrush or it's been stuck to my hand. It looks like that Mod Podge one actually, now that I'm moving it. A little piece there. It's definitely acting like watercolour this, but it's not. Hiya Sammy. I'm alright, thank you. This weekend has been probably one of the most frustrating of my life. I went out and bought a laptop and a webcam to start streaming with instead of my phone, because I can't really stream in the day, because if somebody rings me or, you know, a text message or anything, it cuts me off. So I went out and I bought them, and I can, for the life of me, I got it working, but Sammy, it just constantly buffers, constantly, so it's just useless. So I'm going to have to take it back to Curry's at the weekend. But Isabel's really good, thank you for asking. She's really good, she's at nursery. My mother-in-law's going to pick her up for me, that's why I've got the time to stream this morning. But she's really good, usual happy self going to nursery. Thanks for asking. How are you doing? After our messages, I don't want to say over camera, but after our messages, how are you? Oh, I'm so frustrated with it. And it's a lovely little HP pink laptop that I got as well. And a Logitech C920 camera I bought. And I don't want to see it for a couple of days. I put it in my boot cabinet. I don't want to see it. I might bring it out and try again. But at the moment, I'm just sticking to my phone. Good, I'm glad to hear that. What are you doing then this morning? Are you going out? Or have you got company? Is that what you said? Andrew's dad's on his way. Oh, is it the same camera? Well, this is what I mean. Do you mind me asking what laptop that you use? Because I'm thinking, is it the laptop? Is it a bit rubbish? But it might just be me, because I'm not really that good at this sort of stuff. I need someone to tell me step by step what to do. And I was really struggling last night. I'm really frustrated. Oh, while I've got you on before you go, I'm going to do this one here next month for a Valentine's colouring chat. If you're interested, I think it's a lovely page. I'll start that next month. I've not done anything like that before. Yeah, I did do that. It was, gosh, it was called G-Hub, and it wasn't giving me the option to zoom in or nothing, and I got to the point where I didn't even care if it zoomed in as long as it streamed. Do you mind if I message you later? Well, it won't be later, it'll be in a couple of days when I get it back out again. Would you massively mind that? I've been messaging Dee Dee and she was trying to help me, but no luck. But she's got a different camera to me. This is where I get the ideas from. Dee Dee did acrylic wash. I'm just trying something new. I'm going to blend them areas out at the top. That's sidetracked. Like I said, I'm going to go over with pencil and nail colours and stuff. Let's try and blend these out. My two kids about to physio as well this weekend. Oh God, she did brilliant. We're on the countdown now for Botox. That'll be, what day to it today? So it's like 4 weeks away. 4 weeks away, and then she's gonna have like a block of intensive treatment for 6 weeks while the muscles should be stronger. Fingers crossed it goes well. Whenever I'm doing shadows, I always tend to put them on that area. Yeah, we're looking forward to seeing how she reacts to it, and we're not looking forward to the day in hospital, but we'll see how she reacts. And she's finally, I don't know if I mentioned it in a message, she's finally got an appointment for another lycra suit. Thank the Lord. So that's going to be on the 17th of February, so a couple more weeks to wait till we get a new one of them for her. Oh, I've missed a bit. I think all the nagging to the physios works, to be honest. I was a bit worried that it was the wrong time of day for it to come on and stream, but I won't be able to tonight. The boys have already asked, can they go on the Xbox? Boys being my husband and my son. So tomorrow evening. Just checking the paper, it's slightly curling at the top, but it's okay. And I've gone over to the other side. No! Oh, I saw your picture of the Chinese New Year. I've not yet watched that stream, with me being busy this weekend with that thing. But I'll watch it this afternoon. I think it's 2 hours long. It turned out beautiful. I love your patience you've got with pencils. Right, so I'm not going to put any shading underneath the hair because I want to do that with pencil. A little bit more over here. I'm almost at 700 subscribers as well. I can't believe it. I'm really, really proud of myself. I thought I'd be too scared to do anything like this. I am going to have to add a little bit more here because that is looking ridiculously patchy. Yeah, so I'm only going to stream. I'm going to stream for another hour at least, and then I need to, you know, do the wife thing. I'm going to sort the house out, sort the dogs out, wait for Isabel to come home, do dinners, etc, etc. Might be able to have an hour on the Switch this afternoon. If Isabel lets me. I bought a game for that Switch. I finished it in 6 days. Is that bad that I've spent so much time on it? It was in the evenings. I was only going to bed at like 1 o'clock in the morning. Playing Pokemon. At my age. So I need a new game now. People say to me, have you got time for all these hobbies? Like you'll sit there and paint and colour, then you play on the Xbox. I don't play on the Xbox anymore, I play on the Switch. It used to be Nintendo DS. And all the other things that we've got to do. Right, just let me check over because it's always the same that I always miss bits. Just checking. I've gone over her hair a little bit there, unfortunately. Let me just darken this up. I'm going to leave it for a second and leave it to dry. I have got a heat gun, but with everything else plugged in, I won't be able to plug it in. I had to take it into the kitchen. So I'll just have to be patient and wait. Next door neighbours have let the dogs out. It's fun because they've got 4 chihuahuas next door. I've got 2. So you can imagine what it's like out there when we're all out together. Oh, mine are being quiet. She says, and then one of them woofs. Yeah, so I'm really impressed with this palette actually. I think it was under £9. I thought I shouldn't be paying £9 for a piece of plastic, but it really does the job. It's really, really good. I'm just gonna move my acrylics. Get my neon colours out. Right, let's move that out of the way. I need to think of a better storage solution for these neon colours because this is ridiculous. I might just have to put them in a big cup or something. Just don't put it on the wet bit, don't put it on the wet bit. I think I want to go with an orangey colour. I might have to just take them out and put them in like a Tupperware container because this is ridiculous. I mean, I can see the colours quite well, but golden yellow. Got 2 shades of orange there. Orange, good name. What's that one? Flame red. No, that'll be too dark. I'll smooth that out of the way. So this palette, so the rough side, I'll try and show you where it's dry. I've used these on like a porcelain plate before, but it doesn't put down the pigment as much as this does. It was an old one, that wrap. It came with the Merco Raffine pencils, but when I've got it on my desk when I'm talking to people, it just takes up a lot of room. I'm not buying any more of them now. I'm happy with the colours I've got. It's terrible, you start buying one thing, you feel, well I feel like I need the whole collection, but I've not got the whole set there. There's certain colours that I didn't feel like I needed. Right, so let's start off with that. So I'll leave that there just so is it in frame still? move down so you can see. I'm gonna do the hair, I think, in these colours. Yeah, I've pretty much got that with everything that I buy. I can't help it. Right, might have to change my water soon, we're turning a bit blue. Right, let's go in with the lighter shade and mix slightly. When will you be streaming next summer so I can try and catch you? I've never seemed to catch you lately when you were on. Let me test that. Yeah, that's fine. I definitely prefer doing it this way than colouring with the crayons on the paper because it leaves like streaks when you do it that way. Saturday, what time? I bet you're going to say Saturday afternoon, aren't you? I'll have to watch you when I'm out on the go. I'm sure my husband will appreciate that. Me with the headphones in. Oh no, I'm usually home at that time because she sleeps until 4 o'clock. So I'll try and catch her this Saturday. It'll be sod's law now. He'll say, do you want to go out for the day? Do you want to take Isabel somewhere? I just realised that I went in frame then. I do apologise. There we go. So I've done most of the hair. Of course. I like to chat to people online when they're on as well. I'm half expecting my phone to ring, to be honest. I've been trying to get hold of a lady for coming up to 2 weeks now regarding the specialist bed that we'd ordered that we need. And I've left messages, emails, constant phone calls, no answer. So if it goes off, then it's probably that lady ringing me up finally. I don't know, I've not lost it with her yet. See, I just added a little bit of the blue in the background. That looks alright, that actually. I'm trying my best to go through the different supplies that I've not used in a while and more or less leave them out in eyesight, so I start using them more. Same with the books. I hate having things and not using them. I feel like it's wasting. This just gives a nice base, you know, for going over with pencils later. Can't use alcohol markers in this with it being double-sided. Pictures on the back, unfortunately. It's quite long hair, this is going all the way up. There's a piece there that I've missed. And more down here. Some here. I'm really trying to be careful and making sure I get every bit, because nearly every time that I've done this, doing a base on a picture, I miss bits. I have to get the paint out or whatever it is that I'm using. Just go back in for one little area. No worries, Sammy. You have a lovely day. Thank you for stopping by. hoping that the yellow doesn't mix with the blue, because we'll have a horrible green colour in the hair then. Right. Let's work on this one. I want to make them matching, because they do look like twins, don't they? Let's make them matching. See what I mean with the blue there at the top? It's gonna turn. It's gonna turn like a green colour. Maybe I can go over with the dark orange and hide it. Tiny piece there. I need a little bit more water on that palette. It's drying up a little bit. Good morning, Steph. How are you today? My stream's been a little bit quiet this morning. Sammy's just popped in to say hello. I was thinking, have I picked the wrong time of the day here, but I'm not going to be able to stream tonight because the boys are on their computers, so it's going to have to be tomorrow. So I thought, you know what, I'll come on this morning. I'm very good, thank you, apart from having a really frustrating weekend. I don't know if you saw, to do with I went out and got a laptop and I got a webcam, and I finally got it working. This is over the period of Saturday, Sunday, this. Got it working. I'm testing it and it's just constantly buffering. So basically it's unusable. So I'm going to have to take it back to Curry's. But apparently once you've opened the product, you can't take it back. You can't get a refund. So I'm just going to have to sort of keep my fingers crossed and hope to get it working eventually. Is it Lorena? Is that how you pronounce your name? I'm terrible at pronouncing names. I do apologise. I just got cut off before. We was talking about you doing your, is it knitting? Yeah. I think I must have done over 50 tests over the weekend. I've given up for now. I've just put it in the bookshelf and I'm not thinking about it for a little bit. I need to give my brain a rest from my laptop. But then I was trying to connect with my phone this morning and I'm thinking, it's not working again. I'm not having much luck here. So anyway, what have you been up to over the weekend? What are you doing now? I've just got an hour or so free. I hope so too, because otherwise it's wasted money. I don't think my husband's going to be happy. I'm keeping my fingers crossed, Cassandra, I really am. Oh, so your name is Lauren. Do you mind if I call you that then? My real name is actually Deborah, but nobody calls me that. My parents used to call it me when I'd done something wrong. But nobody calls me that in my adult life now. It's always Debbie. I'm just going to darken these roots up now, I think. I know, well, you know what, Steph? That was the whole point. I thought if I got a laptop, I'd be able to just stream through YouTube. It'd just make my life easier. But now, I'm kicking myself that I even bothered. I really am. I'm really annoyed with myself. Because it's not just money that I've wasted and my husband, because he gave me some money towards it. It's sort of the weekend. The whole weekend is gone now. But hey ho, there's no point in... I've had my moan now. I'm not going to moan again. But I'm using my Neo Colour 2s today because I felt like I was ignoring them. I've not used them in a little while. and I have done an acrylic wash on the background. Well, I'm up to, is it 679 now? We're almost at 700, almost. Cassandra, I've looked at, both me and my husband looking at all sorts of different tutorials, and that's what we thought. Oh, just plug the camera in, set the laptop up, put my email address in, etc, etc. You know, it'll be easy. It'll be easy to do. Loads of people do it, but it's not. It's not, I promise you. I even had a tech guy for 2.5 hours last night trying to talk me through it, and we got it working. It's just, it buffers constantly. And it's not my internet, because my internet, we pay for the highest one with my son using Xbox Live. So it's not that. And he wasn't on the computer at the time as well, so I can't blame that either. Right, let's see what this orange is like. So I thought, I'm just going to chance it and come onto live stream, and hopefully, it's already got cut off once. I was talking to Lauren before, and it got cut off, so hopefully it doesn't happen again. I'm just putting the dark orange and I'm going to blend it out. Don't worry, I'm not going to leave it like that. I know it looks weird. I thought the orange and the yellow would go nice with that background, you know, like contrast a little bit. I've not even made myself a cup of tea yet this morning. Might have to run off and put the kettle on. What time are we on? 11. I've got an hour. Got an hour, give or take. I feel naked as well coming on without any nails on. Well, they're all gone, they're all short. I give me real nails a break. And you know what? It's easier to do my art. I can hold pencils without getting, like my fingers were hurting all here. That's not happening now. I'm going to add a little bit more water to that actually. It's just the Caran d'Ache palette. It's really good, really good, this one actually. And it cleans off really well. Just a bit of soap and water. Just looks good and new again. I'm using Neocolor 2s. I'm just using 2 shades at the moment, so I've just gone in and gone all over with the brighter colour, the lighter one. And I'm just adding some shading. Just popping the colour down, leaving it for a minute, and then I'll go back in and blend it out. I've not used them in a little while and I felt like I was wasting them. Let me just check and see if I've got a slightly darker orange. Getting paint everywhere. That's probably the darkest one I've got. I might just put a tiny bit of that one on. Just a little bit, let's just see. That is a proper true orange. Well, it's stupid that that one's called flame red and then that one's called orange. Brilliant, brilliant. I think if I was on the laptop now, it was only picking up like every other word I was saying. So definitely from Australia would have struggled hearing me. But it's lovely. I don't think I've had anyone from Australia before. So thank you for joining. Right, I'm going to add a little bit of this darker one. Some of these areas and dried them up. Again, I'm not too worried about going on the tentacles of the skin because I'm going to go over them anyway with a separate colour. I'm going to mix my own skin colour Or I might go purple. I don't know. I don't find these, I just sort of go with the flow. That is definitely a silly name for that. That's flame red and that's orange. That's definitely orange. Flame red. What's everybody else up to today? Well, what time will it be, Cassandra, for you? It is 11:08 in the morning here. We're almost coming up to dinner time. And I don't usually stream in the mornings. I've explained why, no, just in case anybody rings, it cuts off. But it would be in the evenings. Gosh, it's weird the time difference, isn't it? I bet you're going to laugh at me when I say that. Weird the time difference is. I go to Florida in March, so it's going to be really, really weird ringing my husband up, being back in the UK, like working out the time differences so I can see my daughter. That's going to be very weird, actually. Darken some of these areas up. I think I've well and truly gone out the lines a bit there. The page is buckling now. You see it on the head, but that doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me. And a little bit back here. I wanted to go out this weekend as well and get some stuff for collaging. But we're messing about with that thing. I've not had time. So maybe next weekend. I think I'm quite happy with that so far. I'm just really undecided what to do. Shall I go with a normal skin tone colour? Or let's go for like a green or a purple. I have no idea what to go for. Or maybe just go with the orange. So it's just like two solid colours, orange and blues. I quite like the idea of that actually. I've not done an orange skin before. I think I am going to do. I'm going to go in with that middle orange and then I can shade with the darker one. So I'm going to start off top left so I don't put my arm in it. Yeah, this is loads easier than actually colouring on with the crayons and then wetting the page that way. It's loads better. Yeah, I just wanted to do something a bit different I've not done before. I've done pink skin. I think I've even done purple skin before. This is the easy part now. I don't really have to worry about going out the lines too much because that blue's darker. So I was telling one of my mods last week, was it last week? Or was it over the weekend? I've got a really, really good video idea. I'm not going to say what it is, but I'm waiting for the items to turn up before I can obviously start filming and talking about them. But I think you guys are really, really going to like it. It's not something that I can find that's been done in colouring books before, and if you're like me, you like trying new things, I think this is definitely going to be something interesting. So hopefully by the end of this week, possibly next week, the items will have arrived and I can start off. but it's just annoying I'm having to wait for the items to turn up. I'm exactly the same when it comes to darker skin tones. I did try actually a darker skin tone mermaid and it didn't turn out. I really do need to practice myself. I just need to probably just draw some circles in a book, you know, and then pick the colours that I want and then try and shade that circle opposed to destroying a picture like I did. I think that's probably a better idea. That needs to be a little bit more darker there. So has anybody else got this book? It's the first pop manga. Yeah, it's the first pop manga. It's not the mermaids one, it's just the first one. Because I'm thinking about doing a colour along next month on the page that's opposite this one, which is, let me just move the palette out of the way. I'm better off moving the camera. It's that one. That page there with the girl and the boy. I thought that'd be really sweet to do, you know, for Valentine's Day. So I think I will do that as a colour along or colouring chat, or I've not decided yet, or live streams, whatever's easiest. I just need to find out if a few of you've got that boot, because I won't like to do a boot that not you know, nobody else has got. I don't want you going out buying anything for the sake of it. I always hope to get these pictures finished in one stream, but I don't think it ever happens. But I'll be doing the finished pages anyway soon, so you'll see it then. See, you're the second person, Cassandra, that said that you've not got it, so maybe it can't be this one. Maybe I'll have to do a more popular book. Pick a page out of there, maybe. See, what I said before about missing areas, look, I've missed that area there. Luckily I've still got the paint mixed. I'll go in a second and fix that. I think there's a colour-a-thon actually going on next month. I need to find out the details of that. Yes, it was me. I do need to use them ones again, and I'll use my new watercolour paints. I promise I will get that one out and use another one. I can see it now. I'll pick a page out of that and then I'll possibly film a video doing that this week for you, because I do remember, I do write all the requests down. It's just, you know, getting through them, that's all. Right, let me get that paint out and fix that problem there. So it weren't that palette. Where's the palette that I was using? I've lost it. Where did I put it? Oh, it's behind me. Put it on the table. Lauren, do you have me on Instagram? Because if you do, have you got that boot, did you say? I can't use that one, that one's too big. And that one's too big. Where's the water brush I was using? There it is. Right, that paint. Have you got that book as well by any chance? I'm just fixing that problem. It's on the way out, it's honestly. Brilliant, brilliant. Right, well, you know what? You pick a page when it arrives. When it arrives, you pick a page. You send it me on Instagram, and we can either do it as a body colour, or I will just do it as a, you know, a colouring chat so you can see what I'm doing. You know, it's up to you. I don't mind either way. I'm glad that somebody else really likes that book. I thought it was just me, because it's not a usual thing, is it, dinosaurs? Something different. The paper in that one again is really, really nice. You'll enjoy that book. No problem. I didn't realise it was out of stock. I do apologise. I thought it was in stock, obviously, for everyone when I'd ordered it on there. Just try and get this colour down a bit quicker now. Is that looking yellow on camera? Because I promise you it is orange. Right, I get you. That's annoying though, isn't it? I'm waiting at the moment for one of the Prima palettes. It's vintage pastels, I think it's called, and the complexion one. And because it's coming from America, the wait on it is like 3.5 weeks, 4 weeks. And I actually got an email that it's been delayed in customs for whatever reason, so I have no idea when that's going to turn up, even if it will. Just keeping my fingers crossed. But yeah, it's annoying when you see something that you want and it's out of stock or more on the way. I've seen a lot of people getting the new Kirby book, but that is not out until the start of next month, I believe. So I don't know how people are getting it early. I'd like to know the trick. This will make a good base for the pencils because it gives the book a little bit more tooth for you to work with. I know it does just look one block colour, but once we add the shading, it will look better. That needs to be a bit darker. Darker yet. I think what I'm going to do, guys, even though I've got an hour left, I've got a couple of things that unfortunately I need to get done. So I'm going to get the rest of this painting done, and then I will probably speak to you all tomorrow evening when I've got more time. And I might pick a slightly easier page to do. You know what? I might do that dinosaur boot tomorrow night, because they're quite easy then. You know, the images to do, with them being grayscaled, the shading and whatnot is already there. How about that? Obviously, if you can't manage to get onto the live stream, it'll be there for you to watch later on. It is yellow, isn't it? It'll be alright. Once I add the dark orange, we'll be alright. It's looking yellow on the camera, but it's not, I promise. That colour that I'm using is literally called, let me show you. It's called orange. Right. I think it's just the camera not picking up the colours right, or maybe it's because I've got the lamp on, I'm not sure. It reminds me this of something out of Aliens, you know, the movie. She's got such a quirky personality, hasn't she, this lady that does all these images. I follow her on Instagram as well, and I love watching her painting. Absolutely love it. I could sit there for ages. Yeah, well, like I said, I promise it is orange. What date are we on now? 27th. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start filming finished pages for this month. This month is just going so quick. It's going to be Valentine's Day before we know it. We haven't got anything planned this year for Valentine's Day. Well, not that I'm aware of anyway. Probably just go out for a meal. We started taking my young daughter out to restaurants night and she loves it. Absolutely loves it. So I'd be more than happy to take her, even though it's Valentine's Day. You know, I'm not too fussed. We took her out to a restaurant the other night and people were looking at her and staring at her because she was laughing that much. She was just so happy. I did catch it on video. I tried to add it on Instagram and it wasn't working to show everyone what I'm talking about. I mean, she was watching Teletubbies at the time, but she was just happy to be out. I think she knew she was meant to be in bed. We're getting there. I've not used my ink tints as well in a long time, being naughty. So I might either use watercolours or ink tints tomorrow. I'm just really enjoying them Prima palettes. If you've not seen, you would have seen the Decadent Pies one. This is the one that I got recently. Look at these colours. Aren't they gorgeous? I mean, I don't know for the life of me why they've decided to put 2 browns in, but that chocolate brown isn't too bad, but the other colours are gorgeous. Really smooth, really creamy, really easy to use as well. Can't harp on enough about these paints, and they're not expensive paints either, and they come in a little nice tin as well. I think a couple of people have bought them now because I've shown. But yeah, they're really nice. Is that in that palette? I don't know any of the names of them. Is that that greeny colour one? Or is it the grey blue one? Yeah, that one's like the tealy colour one, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, they're really, really nice and they work really, really well. I've never tried the Jane Davenport ones. I've heard that they're meant to be very, very good. I've just not tried them. But now that I've bought the Primas, I sort of like, I don't want to try a different one because I want it all to be nice and matching. I only keep them in my little cart at the side of me, but I like it all to be matching. Right, so I'm going to leave that there for now because I don't want to add too much water. After me saying that the paper's alright, it's slightly buckled on her head. So I'm going to completely let that dry and then probably work on it later on this afternoon when I've got a little bit of time. So thank you very much for joining, and I'm glad it's not cut off again. And I'm going to probably aim to stream for, I want to say 7:30 tomorrow evening. So 7:30 PM my time, UK time. I wouldn't worry if you don't make it because like I said, it will be on the playback anyway. And then while I'm doing the picture, whether it's with paints, ink tints, pencils, whatever, I will explain what I'm doing just in case you do want to follow along. And I'd love to see when yours turns up if you pick the same picture, and we'll see what they're like together. We'll do it side by side. So yeah, I'm going to get on and do all my jobs now. Oh, the fun of being a housewife. So yeah, thank you very much guys, and I'll see you later.